All right, let's check them on the e-girls.
think if a girl decides to be sexual and decides to settle down, then that doesn't make her a red flag.
Wait,
Having
you
a
just
lot
said
of
decides to settle down.
That's crazy. You literally just opened up with just crazy nonsense. A girl who decides to sleep around, but now she decides to settle down, that's not a red flag. That's absolutely a red flag. Why did she stop? If that was her nature before, what just made her stop? There's a reason why we call these things red flags. Again, I don't know if it's just like a head empty, I'm just a girl type of mentality where you just get all your gratification right then when you want it. There's very low effort with a lot of these individuals. They just get everything instant gratification. They don't work for anything. They just decide to switch up. That's crazy. One more time. That's actually crazy.
I think if a girl decides to be sexual and decides to settle down, then that doesn't make her a red flag.
Wait,
Having
you
a
just
lot
said
of
decides to settle down.
Like, I don't know, like if a girl is like crazy in college and like gets with a bunch of guys, but then like later on like wants a family and a husband, like just because she's been with a bunch of people doesn't mean that she isn't deserving of those things.
well,
Again, still crazy. Still crazy. I forgot there was this girl. I don't know if her name was like Zanola, whatever the fuck it was. I forgot what this girl was. I'm not gonna say what, at what point in my life I knew her. All we knew was that she was one of the designated hoes back then growing up, and everybody who wanted something was able to get it from her. There was many designated hoes growing up where I was, and she was a designated hoe. And I just remember this girl was down, 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 down. She was pretty crazy. She kept it low key at least, which is weird. But at the same time, everyone kind of like all the guys who in the know was in the know. I damn well was in the know, and I wasn't a person who cared about that. And I just remember seeing her have kids. I remember seeing her have some guy and kids, and I just was like, ugh. Like you get what I'm saying? It's not so much about being naughty; it's about being sloppy. Again, it's this thing where they just decide, oh, all of my actions leading up to now doesn't matter, and the problem is society pretty much goes in their favor with that. They benefit the most off of being promiscuous, having high body counts. OnlyFans has ruined generations of women, has ruined generations of men, just civilization as a whole.
What makes you more deserving than a girl that slept with more people?
People of more high value, like men, they choose to be with a woman who isn't promiscuous, like Brian here. So I wouldn't say I'm more deserving of love. I think everyone is deserving of love. I'm just saying, if you can get a bunch of girls, don't settle for a hoe. Settle for a good girl who's gonna make your life easier.
even normal average men have a strong preference for non-promiscuous women.
Why?
I mean, there's a ton of reasons. First off,
What do you
having a high body
mean?
count.
How is it not sticking in your head? If I have a pair of sneakers and the value of those sneakers are $100, but multiple people has worn those sneakers. Okay, let's say you get a pair of sneakers that Michael Jordan wore, right? Those sneakers cost a lot, but you wear them. Okay, the price goes down a little bit because now you wore them. Now you and your friend wore them. Now you, your friend, and the other dude down the block wore them. Now you got some bum ass basketball player wearing them. The value of those sneakers continues to go down because yes, Michael Jordan wore those sneakers at some point, but now you got all these other people wearing those sneakers. The sneaker, it doesn't stay the same. That's the value of women. When women just throw shit away, the value disappears. And the fact of the matter that she literally just sat there and said, what, like she doesn't get it. Why? It's something wrong with a lot of these women, dog. They just don't get it. They really, they do not, outside of their sphere, their bubble. They do not understand that their actions have consequences. They live too much in the now. That's crazy.
Even normal average men have a strong preference for non-promiscuous women.
Why?
I mean, there's a ton of reasons. First off, having a high body count is a proxy for promiscuity. There's the STD component. The more sexual partners you have, the greater likelihood that you've gotten an STD. I mean, I think a girl who's had one sexual partner is much less likely to have herpes, for example, than a girl who's had 50 or 100.
I mean, he's not wrong. And if they say that, and it's not just girls, dude, it guys too, right? If a person just been sleeping left and right, You gotta always be looking over your shoulder to make sure that they're not still cheating, because that person's insatiable when it comes down to their sexual appetite. Again, I am a pervert. We're all perverts. There's nothing wrong being a pervert. These people are degenerates. Even degenerates back in the day understood that there were checks and balances. But now you got people putting it on the forefront that makes being a degenerate a lifestyle. Literally, they make degeneracy a lifestyle. These people like Lily Phillips or Bonnie Blue or whoever the fuck, I hope I said those names right. Or this girl sitting here right here saying she doesn't understand why body count is important. You didn't sit down for 3 minutes and just think that shit through? Crazy. Why wouldn't a man want a girl who has a high body count? Because he wants to own you. You really want to know? You want to get primitive? You want me to beat my chest? Men want to own women. Women want to own men. When I sit there and I turn to that girl, that's my girl. Those values are off the market. I can't sit there and say that when everyone's already banging you and still banging you. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.